Hey there, welcome to the next installment of the My Journey to Construction video series. We're excited to have you with us today. With us is Ben from Wagler and Associates. I'm going to let him tell us who he is and what he does.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew. My name's Ben Leatherman. Like Matthew said there, I'm a product manager with Wagler and Associates. We're out of Angola, Indiana. I pretty much manage projects, and that uses different schedules and subcontractors and owners, and the budgets kind of meshing all that together and working together as a group. I'm kind of in the agriculture sector of our division. But I've had some commercial and residential as well, but that's kind of where I'm specialized at Wagler and Associates.
Thanks for being here, Ben. Why did you get into the construction industry?
Yeah, I got into the construction industry just because I wanted to have that hands-on slash seeing the project through forecast or vision, I guess. I'm kind of a hands-on guy, but I also like to work directly with the owners and the schedule and the guys and just everyone coming together as that team industry sort of aspect. So I just like to you know bring everyone together and have that team aspect and try to get something accomplished. So
Awesome. You mentioned earlier some of the different things you do in your role. What would you say is your favorite thing that you do in your job, kind of from a day-to-day basis?
right, and kind of where I was going at off the last question there. I really enjoy working with the clients and the owners, and then bringing that team aspect of individuals together with the subcontractors, with city planning departments, with all the different inspectors that we have on the job site, and then my team as well at Wagler and Associates, and our purchasing department, our estimating department, our sales department. Just getting that whole team together. Everyone has one common goal and trying to succeed there. I really enjoy working, like I said, in our agriculture side of things because it's really fascinating to see new technology implemented through the different types of farming. An example would be, the feeding and waste management at a dairy farm. It can be a significant amount of work, and that process has to be done by hand or operated equipment, which it's been that way for most of the 21st century. And so just recently, within the last 10 to 15 years, they've started to implement robotic aspects into that process, which can include, different feeders and milkers and then manure management systems. And it's really helped receive a lot of the lost data that these farmers are trying to get for each cow, and how they're going to manage them and keep that cow happy. The stress in those environments, now that you take away the human aspect to some degree, it really helps the cows, be more manageable, and they actually produce a little better, and it's just better for everyone. I mean, they're just a lot happier. They're always rubbing on you and trying to lick you, and it's a really cool thing to see. So just that innovation side of things is really taken off, and that's something that really excites me in the construction industry. And that's implemented not just on the ag side of things as well. We get it with the commercial side of things, and you got new building kits coming in and new light fixtures, and just seeing the cost savings with some of the green movement, and just really, really cool stuff. So
Awesome. The audience today for this video is going to probably be high school students. So where did you get your start? What was your first job?
yeah, well, I guess it probably would have been a little bit before high school. My dad and my uncles and my grandpa, they've always had some sort of construction project going on while I was growing up. And that's where I kind of started to get the gopher title. Go for this tool, or go over there and pick up some of the shingles that are on the ground. After shingling a roof, and I think that's where I got my first start in the construction industry. But also my first full-time summer job. I was 16 years old, Channel Lake State Park in Albion, Indiana. There, I worked as a laborer. A buddy of mine worked with me. We were doing different tasks outdoors and projects, and they all kind of changed each week. And I really enjoyed, not the repetitiveness of a data entry job, or maybe a bank teller job where you're kind of doing a lot of the same things each time, and you're still implementing some of these similar tasks and processes, but it's usually a different outcome a different procedure or a different customer in the end, what you're trying to accomplish. So that's kind of that problem solving aspect really helps me get my start, I think. And I saw that at my first summer job there at Channel Lakes, and really enjoyed having that, new place to go to or new thing to do. You're outdoors a lot of the times, or get to at least see the project. So that's kind of where I got my first job start into the industry. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to that job you had at Channel Lakes during high school, what else was your high school experience like? What were your grades like? What classes were you in? What else did you do? What were you like as a high school student?
Yeah, I guess first as a high school student, I was actually homeschooled, so that's a little different than most. I it definitely gave me some different perspective on things, not having a group setting in a classroom. My grades they were pretty average. My SAT scores were very average. I actually struggled with test taking a lot, growing up homeschooled. So that was something that was tough for me, not having that classroom environment. I get into the SAT, and that's one of the biggest classroom environments I've ever been into. And there's some other general classes that I was able to take throughout, but I was also really involved with sports. I still did a lot of travel, basketball, and AAU, and had a really good friend group from that and different clubs that we're in. So, still pretty typical high schooler, even though I was homeschooled. But having that difference there, it was definitely a little bit of a stepping stone. But I think that it strengthened me a lot for some of the take-home assignments. Since I was able to kind of drill through those on my own. A lot of self-learning. And then the team aspect of sports, is really what I've enjoyed trying to bring into the industry in terms of construction team. So.
In that homeschool experience, were you able to get access to any certifications or credentials while you were in high school itself, or get yourself set up to go in the industry?
Yeah, I'd say not so much a professional certification. Like I said, I worked with my uncles and my father and my grandpa a lot, and my grandpa, he worked in the Leatherman construction there in Albion, and they had so many different ventures that I helped do a couple of house remodels and stuff like that. So it's more of a hands-on technique that I was brought up with, more than credentials. But there's definitely a couple classes that I would recommend in high school. I didn't per se have the opportunity to take them in high school, but I think they'd be really beneficial. It should be like AutoCAD drafting classes. I think those could definitely give you some insight on how to be able to picture the different designs and be able to try to read prints a little easier going into the industry. Yeah.
Awesome. So you mentioned being on teams, and you mentioned that teamwork is some of your favorite work that you do day to day. What are other soft skills? What are things that you've learned over the years that help you be successful in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, communication and problem solving are really good skills that can bring value in the construction industry. It's critical to have that communication between the owners and between Wagler and Associates as a business, and then all your subcontractors, your inspectors, the city planning ordinance, all that. Everyone has to come together. So that communication is highly recommended here. It's something that I really had to implement early, and I noticed the importance of that. And then problem solving, it can come through just a lot of common sense stuff too. So you don't have to have a 4-year degree to try to get into something like this. It's very open. A lot of it's common sense when it comes down to it in construction. That's something that I really enjoy. So.
As we're wrapping up, why should someone think about going into the construction industry? Thinking about what you do on a regular basis and the experience that you had, why would you encourage someone else to think about the construction industry for their future?
Yeah, kind of on the lines of what I've been talking about earlier. It's extremely satisfying to go from something from start all the way to finish. To have that team orientation that I've carried over through sports, and just to see the different locations at each place and where that's all taking place. A new work environment a lot of the times, and you just get all the different seasons, with the different weather that's outside, and just to be able to accomplish those projects together. I think it's really beneficial for everyone involved. Everyone's got the same common goal. And that's what's really satisfying for me. And I think it is a big point of why someone should try to get into the construction industry.
All right, Ben. Well, we are at the end of our set of questions for today. Last call for anything else that you would want to share with the audience. They're probably high school students that are in construction classes already. What anything else that you would want to share with them about either your role or the industry in general?
Yeah, I guess, I wasn't definitely the smartest kid in high school. I struggled with, different English aspects. I still can't spell very well. Thank goodness for autocorrect. But, I really enjoy working with something with a purpose. And I found that construction has a lot of purpose, and that's helped fulfill, a lot of those aspects in my life that may have some voids. Having a job that you enjoy, that gives you that sense of purpose. It really helps go through your days, and the time that actually starts flying by. It's not a drag when you have that in your job. It's just nice to know, hey, you're here for that purpose, and you can enjoy it. So I really would like to encourage anyone to give it a try. It's something that can come in handy even in your own life. Buying your first home. There's so much stuff that you can do, picking up on construction and just little knickknack stuff throughout your house. And even if you don't own your own home, I'm sure you got grandparents or friends or family members that are always looking for a hand. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for your time today, Ben. We appreciate you having us with us. For those of you joining us with the recording, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching another one of these videos, and we wish you all the best.
Yep. Thanks, Matt.